Well, hello, fellow renegades. It is Ken Lawson, Renaissance Man. Uh, I'm sure most of you know who I am because you've probably been following along with the other songs. And you asked for Money Game Part 1, 2, and 3. So I am doing Part 1 today. I will be doing these fairly quickly together, probably over the next week. So I am going to bring up the lyrics on this other side because I have been listening to all of you, and let me bring that up. So I'm going to try and follow along with him in the song, but not have the captions on, and then I will check out lyrics as we go. I was going to wait until the end because sometimes I just want to feel it. I'll find that out as I go into the song. But as many of you know, I do pause as I go because I want to take in everything about the video, because he puts in the work to make the video look and sound a particular way, and his production and everything. So I am going to stop and appreciate all those things rather than just ooh and ah. So if you prefer a straight watch through, this would not be the one for you. Oh, and I have to apologize to all the people who told me to stop apologizing so much. Sorry, I just had to do it. But yes, I am going to try and cut back on apologizing for the way I do my videos. I'm just letting you know, but I figured it was better to start off that way. And so we're going to jump into it fairly quickly here. I have enjoyed Ren like crazy, and I can't wait to see where it goes next. So let's go ahead and jump in and see what we get. And I know this is all one take from what you all say.
Strange time we're living in, war can put fear in. Hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. Greed runs through parliament interiors. Devils walk among us, they fit the criteria. Eerie theory, stripe, fearing, weary-minded men when we're clearly living in dictatorships. Nearly blinded by illusions to choose, but who's fooling who? A ball chained to your shoes, I'm pained. It's a crying shame, the pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets this whole world burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns. But money was invented for trade, but now those big...
Okay, I want to go back and read where we're going with this, with the lyrics, and you all can tell me whether the guitar is played live, you know, by someone else with him singing, or if he's played the guitar ahead of time and someone else is doing the part of him. But the way he does things live, I would assume that it's all done at the same time. Okay, so strange times we're living in. World can put the fear in you. Hierarchy, parties, they make us feel inferior. Greed runs through the parliament interior. Devils walk among us, they fit the criteria. Oh, sounds like corrupt government kind of thing to me. Eerie theories strike fear in weary-minded men when we're clearly living in dictatorships. Eerie theories strike fear in weary-minded men when we're clearly nearly blinded by illusions to choose, but who's fooling who? A ball chained to your shoes. Illusions to choose. Okay. I'm pained, it's a crying shame. The pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets the whole world burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns. I'm going to go ahead and read the next part. Money was invented for trade, but now those bits of paper twist hearts, make slaves, turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer, his finger on the trigger of a money game. Well, it's pretty obvious where this is going. I mean, how greed is driving society, and basically the pursuit of monetary gain and wealth and all that is turning everybody who makes that their focus into a center in some way, which is quite the shame, and not the rain. I saw the next line. Let me get back to the video. And now I want to hear it again, knowing kind of what he's saying. So,
but money was invented for trade, but now those bits of paper twist hearts, make slaves, turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer. His finger on the trigger of a money game. Oh, rain.
I'm going to go back right there and talk about, for one thing, the use of natural light for this video. Really nice. And beautiful Steadicam work. I don't know if anybody's noticed the smoothness of the way he's moving around, and then every once in a while, boom, just stops on a dime on certain parts. Really well done. The sparseness and coldness of the lighting is nice, even though it's, it's not overly soft. And I thought that this visual right here, that's a gorgeous shot. I mean, that's movie quality shot. So kudos to Wren and his cinematographer.
His finger on the trigger of a money game.
And you hear the white noise.
Rain. A storm, it comes our way. And those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we like to point the blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. Stop.
Oh, cool. I'll let this play a little bit and then I'll go back. Okay, I want to go back there because that was brilliantly done. And I like as he stopped in the hitting the few strings, and I need to read that part. So, oh, rain, storm comes our way. Those who rise through distorted lies. I don't know if that's the melody, but that's the way. Poison in the veins, but we like to point the blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this money game. Well, there you go. I mean, and it is the way it is with most people do deflect the blame onto someone else of why things are as bad as they are when we're just as tied up in it as everybody else. If everybody else would pull back their greed and their pursuit of more, then the whole world would get better, collectively. But as long as we keep wanting to focus on those things ourselves, we're just part of the problem. This old money game. Dear Mr. President, it's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support the ideas that keep us separate, when they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets. They say proudly through gritted teeth, it's my right to hate. That's freedom of speech. Yeah, I got a pretty good idea of what that's talking about. So, when did freedom become a reason to hate, a way to justify a racial slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom because it's in the West. We have pillaged and plundered and murdered like savages, colonized all of the rest. That's called hypocrisy. Preach a certain value and you'd never keep to yourselves. Preach a certain value that you'd never keep yourselves. If your country was in flames, you'd immigrate yourselves in a second. Man, that's and these are very much my viewpoints as well. The hypocrisy of certain things. We'll just leave it at that. It annoys me to no end. Just the trying to point out things in the worst light to try and justify the things that you're doing by making everything seem worse. And that's just not the way to, I mean, you're manipulating other people's fears. And to me, that's no way to govern. That's no way to approach things. So anyway, let me get back to the video. Sorry, I'm getting caught up in the lyrics a little bit, but I guess that's why he wrote them, was so that we would pay attention to them. And I've still got a lot to go, so let's get back to it. I like the little effect he's putting on that, on his voice. Warriors, come out to play!
Dear Mr. President, it's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas to keep us separate, when they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets. It's police and gritted teeth, that's my right to hate, that's freedom of speech. But when did freedom become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, cause us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered the murder like savages, colonized all of the rest. That's called hypocrisy. Preach a certain value that you never keep yourselves. Your country was in flames, you'd emigrate yourselves in a second. Still you spit your venom, demonizing immigrants when really you're the immigrant, cause all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants. Irony is imminent, I'll shed the light on immigrants. America was colonized by Britain. Britain, it was colonized by Rome, and also colonized by the Saxons. They were German, by the way. You know how people throw shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we made the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same and the same. Old situations play on repeat, the same old TV shows repeat. Yeah, we worship the bleak, our opinions aren't our own, and we follow like sheep. There's no left, there's no right, in the middle we sleep. Rain, 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 a storm it comes our way, and those who rise who distort it.
I want to run that back to hear him with the rain, 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 rain. That was really nice. Let me hear it again.
Britain, it was colonized by Rome, and also colonized by the Saxons. They were German, by the way. You know how people throw shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we made the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same and the same. Old situations play on repeat, the same old TV shows repeat. Yeah, we worship the bleak, our opinions aren't our own, and we follow like sheep. There's
Can I just say one real quick thing? You know, he brought up Jews and the hate and all that stuff. I have never gotten why the Jews catch so much hate. I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, here in America, especially, and other places, they're a fairly innocuous people that don't seem to bother anybody, and yet they catch all this hate, and I just don't get it. But that's just me. I that's the one that's always confused me. But what he's saying about immigration and all that, my thoughts on immigration are a whole different thing, because I feel like it's good for us in a lot of ways. That's how we built this country, was through immigrants, like he said, and with birth rates down and needing workforce and all that, and there's good and bad to everything, but what he's saying is right. I mean, we're a country made up of immigrants because people just keep conquering and conquering and conquering, and then suddenly that country is filled with, but all that aside, I'll just get off of that, because I'm sure some of the people watching this will be pissed off by it, but that's the way it goes.
No left, there's no right, in the middle we sleep.
Beautiful directing in this, by the way.
A storm it comes our way, and those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we'd like to point the blame. It's easier to blame we point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game.
I really like that. Ooh.
This old money game. This old money game.
Oh, wow. Wow. This is dark. Oh. Is that the moment of realization that he's becoming what he's saying is bad? In making violence the solution? Well, he's kind of jacked. I wasn't expecting that. Wow. Okay, so my guess there at the end, I need to look at the rest of the lyrics, although I followed them pretty well after that point. Let me just look at them and see if I missed anything. I followed all the immigrant stuff, and yet we make the same mistakes all again, demonize a whole people, Jewish, Muslim, okay. Old situations play on repeat. I followed all of that just fine. Our opinions aren't our own, and we follow like sheep. There's no left, there's no right. In the middle we sleep. Rain, 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 rain. Storm, it comes our way, and those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins. Okay, so what I gathered from the end of that was he was putting a face on the corruption and the greed and everything, and was basically going to burn it in effigy in a way, but then realized in that moment that by doing that, he's pointing the blame at all of that and not taking the blame himself, which is why at the end I feel like he went over and, poured the gasoline on himself to light himself on fire, because you start with, you don't point the blame, you take the responsibility yourself. And I feel like that's what he was saying at the end of it, is you can't do that if you're not willing to do that to yourself, because you're a part of the problem. And so you can't solve other problems if you don't solve your own. That is what I took away from it. I could be totally off. We'll see. But really, really liked that. I loved his singing in it. His singing was great. And the little timing changes and the sped up parts. I just thought that was really, really well done. As I said, the directing on the video and the Steadicam work and all of that, it almost felt like the Batman, the newest movie of the Batman franchise. It had that quality to it, that stark, cold quality to where the lights aren't, all hard lines, the shadows, but there's a little bit of softness, but it's not all soft lighting and trying to make it look pretty. Because greed and manipulation and all of that is not pretty. It's stark and cold and manipulative. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I'm looking forward to the next one. You all said to do the lyric video on the second one, so that is what I'm going to do. I also put some others in my queue. I put Wren and Chinchilla. I think a couple of them. I think the newest one is Tourist, maybe. So I've put about 5 or 6 already in my queue of ones to do, and I'm going to try and knock out a few over the next week or two. So I'll be getting back with Money Game 2 next, and I look forward to it. So to all you people, thank you for joining me. I appreciate all of your support. Anybody who hasn't subscribed, please do help me get to 10,000. And I just want to wish you all a great day, great night, and great life. And I will see you again soon. Bye.